Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Vice Mayor Pasquale, I don't know if you can hear me. This is Robert. You might want to put your Zoom on mute.
Make the Zoom on. Let's see.
If you can mute that.
Yeah.
No.
Things to do. Do I need to get roll call again?
No. But thank you, appreciate it.
So you'll want to keep your microphone muted unless you're wanting to vote or speak. Do you know how to do that? Okay, very good. Thank you.
It's still Sierra.
Okay, can we resume the roll call, please?
Okay, Councilmember Cole. Absent. Councilmember Kirchner.
Present.
Councilmember Shaw.
Can you see me?
Yes.
All right. This evening, we're going to have the invocation by Pastor Stephen Baumgartner, and then please rise for a pledge of allegiance to the flag that will follow. That will be led by Councilmember Kirchner.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude for the opportunity to live and serve in this community. Thank you for the city of Yuba City, for its families, its businesses, its schools, and for all who call this place home. We pray for the mayor and the members of this council and all city staff. Grant them with wisdom as they deliberate, clarity as they weigh decisions, and integrity in all that they do. Help them to seek what is just, to act with compassion, and to lead with humility. Give them patience when discussions are difficult, courage when decisions are challenging, and unity even when there are differing perspectives. May their service reflect a sincere desire for the well-being and flourishing of every resident. We ask that you bless the work done here tonight. May it contribute to peace, safety, and prosperity in our city. And may we all be reminded of our shared responsibility to love our neighbors and to work together for the common good. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice.
Thank you, Pastor. All right, there was no closed session this evening, so there will be no report on closed session. Agenda modifications? Seeing none. Public communication. appearance of interested citizens, you are welcome and encouraged to participate in this meeting. Please, public comment is taken on action items appearing on the consent calendar or business items on the agenda when they are called. Public comment on any other items within the scope of the city's jurisdiction, including items not listed on the agenda, will be considered at this time. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Members of the public submitting written requests at least 24 hours prior to the meeting will be allotted 5 minutes to comment per speaker. Repetitive comments may be limited, and large groups are encouraged to select representatives to express the opinions of the group. We do have a written request from Cash Gillis, so there will be 5 minutes. Is Cash Gillis in here or online? Guess not online. Not here. All right. Do we have any additional comments from the public? Okay, seeing none. We'll move forward to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and can be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items prior to the time that council votes on the motion unless members of the city council request specific items to be discussed or removed from the consent calendar for individual action. Do we have any comments from the public on consent calendar items 2 through 15? Seeing none. I will note, you want me to read this, don't you?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. There is an updated resolution for item number 3. The copies have been distributed to the council and they are available in the lobby. So at this time, bring it back to the council for any removal of any consent items. And if none, a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Councilmember Shaw, second by Councilmember Kirchner. We'll need to do roll call vote. And Sierra, please.
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Kirchner,
Aye.
Councilmember Cole is absent, Vice Mayor Pasquale,
Aye.
and Mayor Boomgarden.
Aye. All right, consent calendar items 2 through 15 are unanimously approved. We're going to move to the business items. Yuba-Sutter Economic Development District 2025 SEDS Annual Performance Report, Appendix 1, Public Works Projects, and the 2026 Annual Update of the 2025-2030 SEDS document. And looks like we're going to have this by the Economic Development Corporation, and I think it's Cynthia.
Yes. So, hello, my name is Cynthia Roderick. I'm the SEDS Committee Chairperson, and I'm here to make a presentation of what we did through 2025. So, from vision to verified results, this is a progress update, and pleased to present this to Mayor Boomgarden and City Council members. And this presentation will focus on what has been delivered and is grounded in the region's long-term economic vision. And how come I never can get this to work? Must be where you push it, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're working towards a thriving... Okay. Yeah, just click once. We're working towards a thriving community built through innovation, and the vision anchors all regional and city level investments. And innovation is the creation, adoption, and scaling of products, services, and processes that drive growth and enhance competitive advantage. If you'll click. And infrastructure drives growth through investment in transportation, energy, and digital networks, which attracts private capital, creates jobs, and improves the overall living standard in our region. It also is economic growth, which is the primary engine for economic development by increasing the region's total output, or GDP, which generates higher income, reduces poverty, and creates jobs. Click. And then quality of life is a major driver of economic development, and that's by attracting, retaining, and fostering a productive workforce, and thereby allowing a competitive advantage to our region. Yuba-Sutter, by the numbers, the region is growing, but infrastructure and workforce remain key constraints to our region. And why is infrastructure a constraint? Many sites cannot move forward without adequate water, wastewater, transportation, and flood protection. Industrial and housing projects are on hold as a result of this lack. And projects like South Yuba County Regional Water and Wastewater, the levee projects, Sites Reservoir, and transportation projects are designed to remove these barriers. And once infrastructure is in place, private investment will follow sooner. And if you'll just click these four. Measuring progress. Progress isn't measured by plans, it's measured by outcomes. We track jobs, investments, readiness, and quality of life improvements. And what follows highlights these four pillars. Click again. And supporting local business is crucial. Small businesses remain the backbone of local economy, and providing technical assistance and capital creates business growth and job stability. This work strengthens existing employers while attracting new ones. Next slide. And infrastructure is the foundation for economic development. These projects reduce the risk and unlock development, and infrastructure investment protects your public investment. So there's been quite a bit of investment here, as you can see by the numbers. Major projects that are underway within the region are the South Yuba County Regional Water and Wastewater Project, Yuba-Sutter Transit Facility, flood protection and transportation corridors, and Sutter Point infrastructure. These jurisdictional and long-term projects are designed to support housing, jobs, and environmental resiliency, and they directly impact economic development readiness. And what infrastructure unlocks and why this investment matters is, for example, before limited wastewater treatment capacity and conveyance really limits your growth capabilities. But if the regional wastewater is expanded, then growth will follow. Aging and undersized systems, city is currently trying to update that. So modern day compliant treatment systems will improve your growth. Without infrastructure, growth stalls. With it, private investment will follow. Another example of why this investment matters is transportation and safety concerns. Congestion and safety concerns, limited multimodal transportation access, and reduced site accessibility for employers and residents. Once you invest in that, there's improved roadway safety and circulation, bike and pedestrian connectivity, and better access to schools and services. Mobility improvements expand who can participate in the economy. Workforce development is showing alignment with employer needs. Educational partnerships are producing national results. Yuba College won the National Manufacturing Championship. So it's an indication that we are moving in the right direction. Quality of life is an economic strategy, and it's why people choose to stay and invest. Housing projects, you can click it. Advancing across all income levels, click again. Arts and culture and tourism draw a lot of visitors. and parks and trails and a revitalized downtown brings a higher quality of life. So the region is investing in housing projects, has numerous cultural events, and is working on improving parks and trails and revitalizing the downtown area. Employers follow talent, and talent follows livability. This in turn will strengthen long-term investment. There's Yuba City projects that have been completed. Click. So there was in 2025, the Plumas Street Historic District and Water Tower, and then a general plan update. So it was a $2.73 million investment by the city. And next slide. There are 23 public works identified for upcoming Yuba City projects, 4 in transportation and road, 5 citywide signal and pedestrian safety upgrades, water and wastewater, bike paths, and pedestrian trail improvements. It is estimated that 10 of these projects that have been identified will be completed in 2026. YSEDC receives a number of inquiries from businesses interested in locating to our area and to the region. Unfortunately, as you well know, the primary barrier is infrastructure and infrastructure capacity. With the council's commitment to investment in infrastructure, the city and region is ripe for responsible growth. I want to detail a little bit of leakage here. There's a $1.2 billion leakage in Sutter County in retail and commercial development. Again, based on your commitment from you, we will become more competitive and attractive to compete with even a piece of this $1.2 billion leakage. And we're excited to be a partner and seeing progress in the upcoming year. And that essentially is it in a nutshell. The SED's progress reinforces regional coordination, improves grant competitiveness, supports city council decision-making, and reduces risk and maximizes the return on public funds. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Before we open for public comment, any questions?
Through the mayor?
Yes.
I only have one question. How do you actually track or trace the leakage? What is the process?
I'm going to defer to Brenda on that one.
Excuse me, my voice is very scratchy still. We have a third-party subscription service, Placer AI, that we are able to run that. They run that data for us. So knowing that you're a resident of Yuba City, when you travel to Roseville and buy a pair of shoes, we know that that $100, $200 is not here. We also know that you already had that demand. So they take the demand plus what we're meeting in supply, and they develop the leakage.
So it's through Pacer AI?
It is. Okay. That's the third-party data that we use.
Thank you.
Yep. And you guys have access to it unlimited.
Either one of you, this emerging peach issue that's going on, I'm assuming that that'll all get factored into some of the stuff that's going on that you're looking at as well.
Yes, we were actually in a meeting earlier today, and I know there was a big meeting Friday that I missed, but right now, Mike Tomlinson, Congressman, is really trying to work on a solution. It looks like the most viable option will likely be a tree removal process. We've seen that before in our other commodities, walnuts, prunes, over and over and over again. But that might look like the potential solution to the problem.
I appreciate that. I think sometimes people underestimate the impact that ag has in our local economy.
I always try to remind people that every farmer needs shoes and truck tires and, you know, work jeans and whatever it is that all the rest of us need. So absolutely, it's a bigger whole than just the fruit.
Right. Okay, appreciate that. No further questions? All right. Public comment. Anyone from the public like to speak on this matter? Okay, seeing nobody. I would like to just let you know how much we value and appreciate the partnership with the EDC. I know that we have been really active lately, pulling down information, and I know that you all are also helping with some pretty significant grant applications that hopefully that we can get. So just know very much from this council person how much appreciate what you all are doing.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It's very fortunate to have Robert, on staff here. Robert and I have worked together the last 20 years or so, and he knows how underutilized the EDC can be, and we plan to change that for the city of Yuba City.
You sure you're ready for that?
We are ready.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll bring it back to the council for action.
Through the mayor, I move that we adopt a resolution approving the SEDS for the 2025 performance report, updated Appendix 1 Public Works projects, and the 26 annual update for the 2530 SEDS document, and authorize its submittal to the U.S. Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Shaw, second by Councilmember Kirchner. We have roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Kirchner,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole is absent, Vice Mayor Pasquale,
Yeah.
by Mayor Baumgarten.
Yes. All right. Passes unanimously. Thank you again very much for the report. I'm sure we'll be talking soon, or at least Robert will.
Yeah, right. With her voice breaking like that, I have to admit I've been demanding so much of Brenda. I think I'm big.
That's
Yeah. Sorry, Brenda, but thanks for all your help.
Thank you. Okay, item number 17 is the community sponsorship request from the Sri Guru Ravidas Temple on Hain Avenue for the Hain Avenue Parade. I will note that there's an updated resolution. Copies were distributed to the council and available in the lobby, and this will be presented by Sierra Wakefield.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you mentioned, I'm here this evening to present a community sponsorship request from the Sri Guru Ravidas Temple. The temple is located at 1511 Hain Avenue in Yuba City and hosts annual community parades and celebrations, often scheduled in late March or early April to coincide with spring holidays. This year, it's their 5th annual Hain Avenue Parade, and it is scheduled for March 29th, 2026. This event is open to the public, and we expect more than 2,000 attendees at this event. And they have requested an $1,800 sponsorship in order to help offset the cost of logistics and events costs for this parade. And if approved, those funds would come out of our community events budget, which is account number 4220-66015. And here's a breakdown of the money that we've budgeted for community sponsorships this year. As you can see, we have 2 accounts, one for community contributions with a balance of $7,200 and one for community events. If approved, if this request is approved, that would leave us with a balance of $3,700. As you can see, the money that we budget each year is allocated in $2,500 increments per quarter. And we do have money this quarter still in our community events budget that we haven't distributed. The alternatives to this request do not authorize the monetary sponsorship, approve the monetary sponsorship with changes, or provide staff with alternate direction. My recommendation is to consider the sponsorship request from the Sri Guru Ravidas Temple for the Hain Avenue Parade, and if approved, then adopt a resolution to approve a monetary sponsorship request in the amount of $1,800. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the council? Any public comment? Seeing none, bring it back to the council for action.
The mayor,
Yes.
I can make a motion to consider a community sponsorship request to approve a sponsorship request. And if approved, adopt a resolution approving a $1,800 monetary sponsorship for the Shri Guru Ravidas Temple to support the 5th annual Hain Avenue Parade.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Kirchner, a second by Councilmember Shaw. All those, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Kirchner,
Aye.
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Cole is absent, Vice Mayor Pasquale,
Aye.
and Mayor Baumgarten.
Aye. All right, item number 17 passes unanimously. Moving on to item number 18, adoption of the Yuba City's strategic plan, and this will be presented by Robert Bendorf, City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. So presented to you tonight is the final version, or well, final if you approve it, of the City of Yuba City strategic plan. As you'll recall, several months ago, we had an opportunity to work together with your executive team as well as the entire city council to come up with a strategic plan that was meaningful, that had a roadmap laid out well, I think, as a result of that working together for the next 3 years or so. And again, we had the priority setting workshop, and it was more of a strategic planning workshop than setting of just priorities, if you will. It involved a few things. Obviously, looking at our mission, our vision, what we value here in Yuba City, and also what our action items and focus areas were. And you'll see the shape of that and what it looks like here in a second. So I continue to work with the mayor and the vice mayor. Again, we started this last year, worked with Mayor Shaw at the time and Vice Mayor Baumgarten, and then we kept that rolling with the mayor and vice mayor for this year. So creating a blueprint for our shared future is a great quote, I think, right from the strategic plan, Mayor. It works out well for us. Can't really see it down at the bottom, but this is your opening page off to the left. This is your second page, and it'll go in that order. But one community, endless possibilities, a place to call home. That was your vision that you came up with along with your E team. And I think it's very telling of what we are about here. Just the pride in our communities, I think the possibilities and opportunities. And of course, we'd love for people to call Yuba City home. We have a little bit about Yuba City and a little bit of its history. And of course, we have our message from the mayor, also contained in one of the pages. And you'll see here our guiding principles, or our values, if you will, and our mission. And you can read that out for those in the audience who may not be able to see it. Our mission is every day we strive to provide quality service, innovation, and leadership. Short, sweet, to the point. That's really what we try to do. We didn't want to, as we were going through the motions during the workshop and even after that, working with the committee. And I will tell you, you had great participation from your department heads. And I'm going to call out Shalene. She is here. I'm calling you out anyway, Shalene, even though you're shaking your head no. But Shalene took a very active role working with the committees, and I really appreciated her for doing that. And that was without even asking. But she took it upon herself to make sure everything was coordinated, and really impressive work. And it got us to this point. So our values: service, safe environment, innovation, organizational investment, community engagement, and fiscal health. And then you see our focus areas. So the focus areas are your buckets, if you will. Your buckets of areas that you're going to focus on, your upcoming action items, and how we achieve, things like safe communities and how we achieve workforce excellence. So then we populate those focus areas with our action items, which you'll see here in just a second. The planning horizon is really important. So that gives you a time frame roughly, but we plan to report out every 4 months or as often as needed. And sometimes we may finish a project, we may have a critical update, and we'll come back to you before every 4 months. But the 4-month mark is really the time where we can talk, maybe suggest some minor edits, and then usually annually, when you get about that 12-month period, close, give or take, that's where we say, hey, we need to make a few changes there because some other priorities have come up. And if you have all been doing this a long time, you know how local government priorities can shift from 1 minute to the next, let alone over a course of 3 years. Before I forget, I really want to thank Sierra too for her work in getting a lot of these photos and coordinating with Kim Floyd, who's been working with us to do a lot of our public relations, and through Kim and her resources helped design this. And they did a fantastic job. And Sierra, thank you so much for getting the content and organizing that for her and all the other proofing that you did. So here's a layout. Again, the writing's kind of small. Do we have extra copies tonight? Yeah, there's copies in the, got it. So you will see workforce excellence. And while I'm on that topic, before I go any further, I'm just going to call it out. There was one item that didn't, or a couple items that didn't make it where we adjusted some dates. And that was under enhanced employee retention, which is our first priority area. Create a comprehensive employee recognition program. Spring of 27, we should have it done. And it says summer, fall of 2026. It might occur then, but we need a little extra time with that. These dates were supposed to be changed, and I missed that mark. So, and then, of course, the revamp the service awards through department head and employee feedback, fall of 26, not spring. And then spring of 28 for create an organizational intern program, the first one there, and employee development and well-being. We have the last action item there, review and develop internal programming, fall of 2027 rather than fall of 26. Again, it's all about prioritizing. Those changes should have been made and they were not, but we'll adjust them as we move forward. So, but as you can see here, infrastructures are very important. That seemed, I wouldn't say dominated the conversation, but it certainly had a leg up, I think, in a lot of the discussions of what infrastructure do we need here to be successful and achieve good outcomes. And a lot of those, as you know, are roads. But there's also some innovation items in here, such as seeking power generation potential that I know our utilities department is looking at, to sidewalk management, et cetera. But there are some big ticket items in here that it's going to take certainly a little bit of elbow grease to get to and accomplish. But you know what? Your E-team and your council wouldn't have put these in here if they weren't achievable. And so we've got a little work to do, but I think it'll be met with good outcomes when we get there. So we have safe communities that really talks about your basic functions, your police, fire, code enforcement, et cetera, and emergency preparedness. And you'll see those priorities and action items in there. Economic development, obviously a very, very big piece of this strategic plan. Everything from business recognition to private-public partnerships, which your council has been very supportive of in numerous discussions that we've had. Hey, it's not all about just government doing for residents and our businesses. It's about partnering with our residents and businesses and see what kind of, again, good outcomes that we can achieve by having effective partnerships. Using technology more, and you see the other ones in there, and those are just some of the highlights. And then we have fiscal responsibility. As you know, we are making a lot of changes recently, and I'm excited that, sorry about that. So I'm excited that through a lot of the work that Deanna has done and department heads are doing with proper fiscal responsibility type tasks, that it's really coming together, producing reports with usable, good correlated data that the council and staff can use when making decisions, but also making sure the right policies are in place, that fees are accurate, that development pays its way. I know sometimes we don't like to hear that, but all of those things that make sure that we are responsible fiscally, there's a lot on that plate. And these are just some of the key ones here. In reviewing this, I will tell you, and also part of the workshop, that your council is, again, fortunate with the team that you have here. The department heads that are sitting out here, Deanna couldn't be here tonight, but they take their roles very seriously, especially when it comes to good fiscal health. And the creativity that all of them put on display every day to make sure we can, whether it's limping through a budget year or finding a certain revenue for a key project that we need to do. Again, it's all your team working as a system together to make sure we achieve good fiscal responsibility. Then you see on the last page here, just a little artwork of our new arch, or a photo of our new arch there. And that's about it. So I'm gonna go back front and certainly answer any questions you might have. But what's being asked of you today is to consider this draft before you as Yuba City strategic plan through 2029 and approve if you so desire.
Thank you for the presentation. Any questions from members of the council? All right. Any comments from the public? Okay. Comments from the council.
Through the mayor. Robert, thank you. And to our E-team, thank you, because it's very, very encouraging what we've seen. One of the 5 that, Mark and I has been up here 7.5 years. And I remember 7.5 years ago talking about the direction changed every 12 months because it depended on who sat in the middle seat and who rotated on and who rotated off. We started working on this last year, and Robert, you brought the leadership in and set the tone in this. This is what we need. We've said it a lot of times that it doesn't matter when it comes to the direction of the city like this, who's up here, because we should be looking beyond the 12 months and all rowing in the same directions. And so I know what you guys put into this last year. I know a lot of the conversations that went on in the background. Robert and I had conversations in the background. I just want to say thank you, because that's going to set our course, not for the next 3 years, but probably the next decade plus, because we will take this and we will build upon it. And as we come and go over that decade, your leadership is going to be here. You're going to be doing exactly what that says. You're going to be dealing with one community, endless possibilities, and making this a place we all want to call home. So I just want to personally say thank you. I know they all will say the same thing, but thank you, because I know the hard work you guys put in. So
Thank you.
All right. My comments. Well, I know that when we started this most current development of the strategic plan, I think I made this comment in one of the meetings, is I've been through a lot of strategic plans in the city, and a lot of times super effort, but because of whatever, they end up being mostly ink on paper and or a binder on a shelf. It doesn't mean that there isn't good material within those documents, and some of it's implementable. But I really like the structure of this one. I think that the 3-year planning horizon is entirely appropriate, especially given what goes on in the United States of America, state of California these days. But I think some of the things that the current staff pointed out are really appropriate shifts in emphasis. They're concrete, they're achievable, they're measurable, and I do believe that it's a document that actually, as Councilmember Shaw mentioned, is something that will set the framework for the future. I don't think this will just end up on the shelf or on somebody's desk. I really do think it's something to reflect back on, and that's what a strategic plan should be. But more importantly, I do believe it's dynamic, which means that it is, as we've heard today, it's already changing a little bit, just depending upon outside conditions. So I applaud not only the effort of you, Robert, in leading the effort, but also to our department heads. As a resident of Yuba City now for 45 years. I'm enthusiastic that the city has such a plan because I intend to stay here for a while longer, and it would be fantastic if we can get these, these goals and objectives implemented. So, Mike, yeah.
I just like, this is measurable and observable. I mean, you can't get any more concise than that, and that's what I appreciate about what Robert brings to the playing field with us, and I appreciate that. So let's make sure we follow our roadmap. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. With that, take it back to the council for action.
The mayor? I'd like to make a motion to approve the city's strategic plan vision 2629.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Councilmember Kirchner, a second by Councilmember Shaw. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Kirchner,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Cole is absent, Vice Mayor Pasquale,
Aye.
Mayor Boomgarden.
Yes. All right. Item number 18 passes unanimously. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate the work. Future agenda items to the city council. Are any items you would like to have on the agenda at a future meeting?
We warm up the chambers a little bit better.
Okay. I'm not seeing anything. Reports and communications. Following reports and communication items are provided for the council's information. No action can be taken on these items under this section unless the council agrees to include it in a subsequent agenda. City manager.
Didn't I just talk? Let's see. I'll go through my list. I have nothing to report.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead then and get city council reports, and we'll start with Councilmember Kirchner.
All right. You guys comfortable? It's been a while. It's been a while.
Freezing.
Yeah. So I was absent last time because I was someplace really warm called Palm Springs. There was a mosquito vector conference down there that was really actually pretty informative. So I appreciate the invitation down there. Also on mosquito, the only thing that we did this month was approve the annual audit for fiscal year 24-25. I'm just going to go down the list. I covered the county oversight meeting for the vice mayor. And the only business on there was the adoption of the resolution approving the annual recognized obligation payment schedule for period July 1st, 26 to June 30th, 2007 for the successor agency, the former successor agency of the former Yuba City Redevelopment Agency, an authorization for the chair to sign all related documents. Easy for me to say. SASA, which I covered for Councilmember Shaw, we didn't have a quorum, so we didn't do much there. Gilsizer was canceled. Went to the for the food bank meeting, we talked about the food bank dinner, which was well attended. And what else we got? Yes, this was brought up during the homeless consortium business. Looking at the proposed 26-27 budget changes, this is through Yuba-Sutter Behavioral Health. Elimination of the contract with the superintendent of schools due to costs. Also, they're closing the Hmong Outreach Center, which 52 clients will be affected, but they are being rehoused through another agency. Attended the Richland housing groundbreaking. 135 units going to be open inside of 18 months, they said, right? Did I get that right?
2027.
Okay. Attended the PD Awards, which happened to coincide with the retirement for Lieutenant Michelle Brassel, which was kind of bittersweet, but nice to give folks recognition that they deserve. On behalf of the mayor of Yuba City, I presented Marysville a proclamation for their 175th birthday. Did anybody go to that? Anybody go to that? No. That was very well attended at the Elks Lodge, and I stuck around to watch the Sutter County Board of Supervisors present the same award, but they presented it to the city of Yuba City, and that actually made the newspaper, which I thought was pretty funny. I think the mayor mentioned earlier that there was a meeting across the street last week at the Veterans Hall dealing with the closure of Del Monte Foods down in Modesto. It was certainly impactful. One of the numbers that they threw out there was you're talking about 50 million tons that is produced in the region, and this country actually imports way more than that in peaches. Another thing that came out was due to the newly tariffed steel imports, the price of their packaging, the cans, are going up as well. So, but they had some folks, Thompson was there, of course, Gallagher was there, so they got folks working on this. It's pretty dire because we're in February and those trees are in the ground. So, moving along. So I would like to bring up a couple things that were brought up tonight. In one of the presentations, and I asked a question that I think I already knew the answer to, is about the leakage. And that's measurable, and they actually had hard numbers for that. Okay, so it's money leaving the area, but it's money leaving the area to be purchased in communities that have a higher sales tax than we do. And so this was brought up in 22, brought up in 24, potentially be brought up again. But I'm glad that was brought up tonight. Lastly, I would like to thank Chief. You had a long week with the walkouts. Thank you for everything that your staff does day in and day out to keeping our community safe. So thank you. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Kirchner. Councilmember Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since the last meeting, we, as Councilmember Kirchner said, we supported the food bank dinner and helping them meet their goals this year. And exciting news they delivered there, and I think we've all probably seen it, is they're opening the Airman's Market next week out at Beale. So that's going to be another added resource out there that's the food bank's involved with as well. Had Sabufka. All the projects are moving along as scheduled, but spent a lot of time talking about the Feather River Side Channel project, which is going into the next phase. And they were talking about the salmon, and so that should make the fishermen real happy here in a few years if they were able to get all of that together. It's at 90% design, and they are stepping on the gas, and we'll go to 100% design and on over towards some construction, hopefully in the next year. And then we attended the Chamber Gala, recognizing our chamber and our community and the businesses last weekend. And that's pretty much been about it. So it's tax season, and just want to remind Councilmember Kirchner, they brought it up in 22, 24, and you just brought up the sales tax thing in 26, so it has been brought up.
Mr. Vice Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember Shaw.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see. DBA meeting was held, attended it. DBA seems to be doing really well. I think we've got a good group of people running it. They didn't have too many concerns other than trash and this stuff. And I think Josh addressed a lot of that and was getting back to them of who's responsible for that. Went out that Thursday night after DBA and did the code enforcement right along with the confiscation. Just did one confiscation. My only observation was the fact that it took a little bit longer than I anticipated to just take care of one location. I think they were above being patient with the group, to be quite honest with you, finally until the police officer called their bluff and made them move on. The one concern I had was the fact, talking with the county inspector, was the fact that they have had another mirror image of her, not a position not filled for the last year and a half. This brings a segue to where the next meeting I went to was Yuba-Sutter Economic Development Corporation. And they, of course, asked for updates of what's going on. And I stress the fact that we are pushing the code enforcement on the pop-ups and the illegal vending that is going in our communities, jeopardizing the health of our communities. And I point blank addressed that issue with not having an unfilled position with Supervisor Flores. And he did take notice of it. And hopefully something will be done because it is sorely needed. My observation is that I think we need to get a little bit more streamlined, and we need to probably, instead of just giving our code enforcement 3 hours at the end of the day, they need to come in later in the day and give it a wholehearted effort of a substantial amount of time, because we only had the opportunity to go over to one other location, and that was just to let them know and notify them. So, that's probably the PD. Well, it did go to PD. That was always a terrific event to go to see all the accomplishments of our law enforcement. And I thank you for accommodating me tonight. And the talking head is cutting off. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I hope you're feeling better soon. Okay, my comments. Did attend Marysville's 175th birthday. I want to thank Councilmember Kirchner for hanging in there. I had to bail for a very important reason. After what, 2.5 hours of talking, but it was a good event for them. Attended the Government Affairs Committee for the Chamber, where our city manager discussed what was going on within the city. A lot of questions. That was probably the longest presentation at the Chamber for city stuff that I'd been to in a while. So they were definitely engaged. Attended the SACOG Transportation Committee meeting. Lots of funding opportunities coming up, and a lot of that starts on Thursday. So good. Hopefully we can get ourselves in the queue. I know Josh and others have been working diligently on that. Attended the Chamber Gala. I don't know, 300, 400 people, something like that. Pretty well attended. Today I attended a meeting that was put on for Congressman Mike Thompson, Assemblyman Gallagher, on Calpine's carbon capture system. Rather than get into the details of that, they've graciously, Calpine has, it's called Sutter Energy Center now, and they're taken over by a company called Constellation. But they'd love to come up and talk a little bit about this state-of-the-art carbon capture system. But probably as important is Calpine / Sutter Energy / Constellation's contribution to Sabufka for helping to repair levees on the bypass side of the Sutter bypass on our side. And this was kind of late breaking news, but and Robert, you're going to have, or not Robert, but Shannon, you can stop me if you need to, but I think I'm following your direction here. We had previously granted through community events, Yuba City High School baseball, about $1,000 for a project, which unfortunately the district is not allowing them to go forward with. They've submitted a different project. I know, Wade, and with perhaps a nod of the head, if we could just pivot that money. Mike Pasquale, I'm looking for a nod of your head. Thank you for nodding your head.
City Council.
We're okay.
If I could,
Yep.
perhaps the city manager could come back with a resolution for your consent calendar to put on affirming his independent action to pivot that money to a different fund. And you notice how I just volunteered you, Robert. Thank you for your flexibility on that.
Yeah, sure. Jim will help me. Well, I'm sure Chief Runyon will help me with the resolution.
Boy, it's running downhill. Okay. I would also like to mention that, so this Friday, we are, and I really want to thank Sierra, Tony Darwaza, and others, Chief Runyon, Josh Wolf, for helping with this designation, actually, of the POWMI Bridge. This is the 10th Street Bridge. The event will start here Friday, February 20th at 9 a.m. The bridge has actually been officially named the POWMI Bridge. That occurred in July. I think that we had sort of danced around resolutions and naming, but by state action, it is now officially the POWMI Bridge. So the ceremony will start here at 9. It will then transfer over to Marysville for some ceremonies on that side of the bridge, unveiling of the signs. And the final thing that I have is that if you are at all interested in meeting with Yuba City's newest city manager, there's a little event at the City Cafe being held this Thursday night that you may want to attend to learn all about Robert Bendorf. And with that, I will conclude my comments. I don't know what time.
I think it's 5:30. Yeah, it's 5:30. So can I comment on that real quick? I was put up to this. Just to be clear, I'm more than happy to go, but I think the impetus of it is, I told them they should have picked somebody else to be the headliner, if they will, but the City Cafe obviously had some damage due to an unfortunate incident, and they were closed down for quite a long time. They're just reopening again, and they want to do a couple of events to get folks in there, et cetera, and this was one way to do that. I told them again, I don't know if they're interested in losing money, but yeah, invite me anyway. Go ahead. So we'll see how it goes, but would love to see folks there and be able to share, what I've learned in the last year working with the city council and where we're going next.
Thanks, Robert. Unless there's anything else, this meeting will stand in adjournment.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
the truth that comes through.